Belli, buongiorno! Today I'm going to share with you a very typical recipe of my area, Puglia region, and a very traditional one of my family. I'm talking about Pitta di patate. Pitta, P-I-T-T-A, a thick double layers of very good mashed potatoes filled with onions, capers, cheese, etc. etc. It is very good, it is very tasty, and I'm very happy to share it with you. Are you ready? Let's go. When I grow up, I try, let's say, not to steal the recipe from my grandma, but I try to ask my grandma, measurements and quantity in order to prepare my own one. And my grandma, she used to answer every time doing this kind of body movement, like, you do ad occhio. That means you do it without a very precise quantity. You will look at and then you will understand. So I used to say, nonna is grandma in Italian, but how many potatoes? More or less. So don't be very precise. I do this recipe like nonna used to do, like a occhio, looking at. More or less we need 1 kilo of potatoes, that is 2.2 pounds. If it's a little bit more, it doesn't matter. Then we need half kilo of onions, that is like 1 pound. Then we have 200 grams of breadcrumbs, that is more or less 1 cup and a half. Perhaps you need more, perhaps you need less. Then, if you are gluten-free, you can easily substitute this one with gluten-free breadcrumbs, and so you are absolutely okay. Then we have peeled tomatoes. They come from a can. The can is 400 grams. This is the size of the can. You don't need basically all the juice, so don't do this. Just take the tomatoes and then you chopped in a few chunks, and that's it. Then you need capers, 50 grams. Then you need black olives, good black olives, without the stones, and then you cut it into pieces. This one are more or less 60 grams, but you can see. Then we have 100 grams of pecorino. You need a salty, tasty, aged cheese. So pecorino is great, can be pecorino sardo, pecorino romano. And then we have finely chopped parsley. Then we have black pepper. We have salt, extra virgin olive oil. Please, a good extra virgin olive oil. And then just a little bit of red hot chili peppers, or the olive oil of the red hot chili peppers. If you don't have under olive oil, you can also take just the fresh one or the dry one. And then that's absolutely up to you. I have an anchovy. Many people don't like anchovies. I promise you, you will not taste it. But basically, this one goes into the pan with the olive oil. It will dissolve completely and give a little kick of flavor to the entire recipe. Okay, so follow me and we start. I'm not crying because I'm thinking about my life, my family, the grandma and the nonna that is not here anymore. I'm crying because I'm cutting the onions. So while the potatoes are cooking, what I did, I cut the onions into tiny slices. You saw me before trying. Then I put 10 tablespoons, looks a lot but it's not, 10 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil in a pan. The fire is on and the oil is a little bit warm already. Then I put the anchovy and I make sure the anchovy completely dissolve into the oil. Okay? Then what I do, I put inside the onions, okay, directly. And actually, I stir fry onions, anchovies, and let's say a teaspoon of salt, a little bit of spicy extra virgin olive oil with the red hot chili peppers. After 5 minutes of stir frying, you see that the onions are this kind of nice golden color. They are getting soft. Then you add all the capers, all the black olives, and keep stir frying. You also add the tomato. We use the potato masher, and we also let's say, crushed some potatoes with the hands. And now we add the other ingredients. I forgot to mention some fresh oregano. I think I got a very nice kick of flavor. And then I'm gonna add the pecorino and the parsley together, okay? So let me see how it's gonna work. I'm gonna do a mess right now. No, it's gonna do, okay, perfect. Then you try the potatoes and you see, you taste the potatoes. I think, because I tried, they need a little bit, just a little bit of salt and a little bit of olive oil, like that, okay? Then you can use your hand, that actually you should use your hand. I start now to mix with the spoon. And if you see that it's too soft, then you can add a little bit of breadcrumbs. As you can see here, I divided the mashed potatoes in two. Let's say 60 and 40, it's not exactly 50-50 because the lower part is gonna be a little bit bigger because I have to do the edge. This is a pan that is 24-25 centimeters, is around 10 inches more or less, okay? Then you put extra virgin olive oil, like that, okay? And like Nonna used to do, you have to use your hand. I wash my hand, they are sanitized, fantastic, etc. So you put the extra virgin olive oil on the bottom and also on the edge, okay? Make sure you cover everything. Then after that, what you do? You take some breadcrumbs, I would say a handful, more or less, and you cover, because you have to make sure the mashed potatoes doesn't stick, okay? Now everything is covered. Then what you do, important, my grandma used to use your hand covered with olive oil. I prefer to do with water, so prepare a bowl with cold water. Then you take like a handful of the mashed potato, okay? You do something like that, kind of ball, let's say, and then you start to cover the bottom with a pretty thick layer of potato. Can you see? I put the mashed potatoes at the bottom and I made the edge. Now it's time to fill it with the onions. I want to tell you, the smell is fantastic and it tastes amazing. And then you do another layer in order to cover, but this time the layer of potatoes needs to be thinner, okay? Make sure you go on top. This is the way. A little bit more. Be patient. It's a job that you do slowly. Look at the final result. It's perfect. Some extra virgin olive oil. You have to use your hand now, with your hand. Make sure the olive oil covers everything, every single part of this masterpiece. I'm so proud, I have to say. I haven't done this one for a while. That's perfect. And then, in order to add some crispiness, a little bit of breadcrumbs directly on top. The masterpiece will go in a preheated oven for around half hour. What about the temperature? In Celsius it's gonna be 220, in Fahrenheit 420, okay? If you want at the end, you check the temperature. If you want to have some kind of gold crispiness, you can use the grill for like 3, 4, 5 minutes maximum, okay? And finally, the happy ending. After half hour cooking in the oven, we didn't use any grill. It was perfectly done. We let the focaccia, let's say, cool it down for a couple of hours. Oh, che meraviglia! Can you see the layers? I cannot resist. I have to try. È meravigliosa. Hope you have the chance to try a very good one, a homemade one. It's fantastic. Hope you enjoyed the video. Un bacio.